Hello guys, what's up? So I was just watching this debate between Mike Israetel and Greg Doucette, and I have a few things to say about it myself also. So basically what Greg Doucette is pretty much saying is that you have to train harder and that you have to train almost all of the time, really close to failure, but basically what he is saying is that you should train to failure almost always. And in his defense, what he is saying is that you have to have really good technique, and that basically when you are having good technique, that training to failure isn't that dangerous. And that's kind of true, because if you really hold your technique, you decrease the chance of injury drastically. But what he isn't saying, and I don't know if he knows this, is that he probably knows this, but it doesn't really matter, is that when you are training to failure, you are taxing your body a lot more, especially on bigger exercises. And that's basically what he's saying also, that when he's training the failure, he experiences a lot more fatigue. And the interesting thing what he said is that he is usually sick. He has pneumonia. I don't know what it is actually. I think that's something with the lungs. And what basically Mike Israetel told him is that he probably should ease off his training and that he would be less sick in general. And what I wanted to cover here is that Mike usually is proponent of smart training, not ever go to failure, but what Mike Israetel is trying to say is a little bit more complicated than what Greg Doucette is saying. And that's why probably Greg Doucette became so popular so quickly, because he is saying everything in overly simplistic terms, which is kind of okay if you are targeting people who have probably never been in the gym. But when you want to target people who are actually training, who have few training years under their belt, you want to start saying a little bit more advanced things, and you want to guide them a little bit more detailed how they should train. And by saying that, I don't know if he ever mentioned it, I probably did, but what Greg is saying is that you should always train to failure, that you should train until you cannot do any more reps. That's like really dangerous advice for taller people, because taller people usually have more problems with injuries because of shittier leverages basically. And what I am trying to say here, that you should have measuring tool for your intensity, not just to go by feel, or when strength kind of drops you by 10%, what he is trying to say, that you should just kind of back off, but you are not really backing off, you're just changing the exercise. So in my opinion that doesn't make any sense, but Mike really was polite there, and I believe that you should not train to failure, you should train more intelligently, and you should have a measuring tool for your intensity. It's not like it's even for beginners, it's even actually more dangerous to say, just go to failure, you're not training hard, because beginners don't have good technique, and just saying to them, you should just train hard, you're a fucking bitch or pussy, that's just crazy to me. I just wanted to really cover this because it was really funny to me. I also know some stuff about training, and most of the time I was like, that's not really smart thing to say. And Mike Israetel, I believe, in my opinion, Mike Israetel handled it really good, and he was being, in my opinion, really polite, because some of the stuff that Greg said was kind of contradictory, I don't think that Greg doesn't know what he's saying. I actually believe that Greg is trying to target a certain group of people when he is talking in his videos, but also that's his own view, he can say whatever he wants on his YouTube channel, and I wouldn't do that. And I just wanted to say that if you are a taller lifter, please, the things that Greg Doucette is saying, maybe it's not really applicable for you, and maybe it's not really smart for you to go to failure, especially not every set, I very rarely go to failure on isolation exercises or on any exercises, and I never go to failure on bigger complex exercises like bench press, overhead press, rows, deadlifts, especially deadlifts, squats. Those kinds of exercises, I treat them a little bit more differently than isolation exercises or any kind of other exercises, because those exercises need to be performed really good, and you have to perform them in a safe manner. And when your technique starts breaking down, in my opinion, in my experience, 14 years of lifting, I have actually experienced that if you are pushing bigger exercises, you probably are gonna, fuck up yourself a little bit. Maybe not immediately, but after some time, after few weeks, few months, you are gonna injure yourself. For taller lifters, just don't go to failure, focus on technique, and base your intensity on when your technique is breaking down, not when you are unable to lift the weight anymore. So I just wanted to point that out. I personally think that the debate was, entertaining, but not really, useful. See you guys in the next video. Bye.